Bruce Lee was a boxing fan, and he really liked boxing. And at that time, if you can remember that far, people were just doing karate, so it was point karate. And he didn't like that. He thought he enjoyed boxing matches better than karate matches at that time because it was point, and it would just take your point and then go back to the corner and take the point. And he wanted something to flow. So what he did was, because he liked boxing so much, and as you know, Bruce Lee was the boxing champion, high school boxing champion in Hong Kong. He put in the boxing movements of Western boxing, took the kicks from different Chinese systems and both Southern and Northern systems, and he started to play around with it. In the beginning, we wore a lot of armor, like we wore baseball shin guards, we wore body protector, we wore face masks, we wore elbow pads, we wore boxing gloves. We experimented with boxing gloves, finger gloves, and nobody was doing it at that time period. The only people that were doing in the United States at that time period would probably be Bondo. Bondo is a Burmese, Indian, Chinese, and Tibetan martial art. And the JKD people in Bondo people at that time were the only one that were doing full contact karate. And this is how it evolved, And then later on, we started taking away the shin guards, we started taking away the body protector, we started taking away the face mask, and then all we used was the boxing headgear. And that became kickboxing. At first, I coined the term Chinese kickboxing. He says, no, just call it Chinese boxing, because Chinese boxing is what he wanted to be called. And then later on, we start using the word Chinese kickboxing, and then kickboxing, or Jun Fan Kick Boxing. In the development of Jun Fan Kick Boxing, Bruce, he researched a lot of different systems at that time, the known systems at that time. He would observe them. And the thing he liked about the Muay Thai was the rear leg power. He felt, though, that the front leg wasn't active enough at that time period. You have to look at the time period that he was in and why he made these things. A lot of it came from Don Draeger's book. I don't know if you're aware of Don Draeger's book, And he classified the Thais as saying, well, the uppercut is non-existent. Of course, that's what Bruce Lee did his research. And at that time, a lot of Thais didn't uppercut. And the reason why they don't uppercut is because the knee is in the same range. So the knee took care of the uppercut. He says, but he liked the elbows of the Thais. He said, well, that's a powerful tool. He didn't, in Don Draeger's book, he mentions about the jab was not seen very much, almost non-existent, okay? And that's the reason why, because they foot jab with their foot. So you have to look at why he came to this thinking at that time period. They said the hook was almost non-existent, and the reason why, on the tight hook, the Thais use the elbow, because the elbow is in range, in tight. They don't have to use the overhead, because the tight hook is in the same range in the elbow, and the elbow will cut the face up more. And it's more punishing than sometimes the left hook. And the kick, he referred to the Thai boxers as the John L. Sullivan with the leg. Now, all this is true depending who you're watching at that time. But if you look at the type, the other thing he took from was savate. Now, many other writings and many other literature said he did not take from savate, but I know different, because I was there when he researched it. I was there when he actually kicked and looked at the Super 8 of French fighters. There was a French, I don't know where he even got the tape. There was a French champion on savate, and he was watching it on Super 8 and 8mm film, and he analyzed it, and he said, oh, I like this. This is a very punishing kick. Coup de bas, which is the kick when they lift up, He says, this is really good. And he liked the way they use their legs, because he said, savate people, or boxers won't say savate, they box with the feet. And that's what he liked. And he liked boxing. So he started to put all these elements together. And then he took the kicks, he thought, from Northern system and from Southern Chinese systems to see how they work. And that became Jun Fan Kick Boxing. It fit him. For us, we might have to find another path, but for Bruce Lee, that was the path he chose. elements of Thai boxing, elements of savate, and he liked the headbutts of the Burmese boxers. So he incorporated that into his own personal system. And I don't care what anybody writes about in all the books and all the magazines, he did have those elements in it. Many people don't know. They said, well, he only took it mainly from Wing Chun, which is at that point, had a strong Wing Chun background. But in the kick ranging, he says you don't use that kind of punching. You have to use attack by combination, what he called ABC. Jun Fan is the base system. It has curriculum in it. It has a definite pattern. Jeet Kune Do really is it stems off of Jun Fan Kung Fu. He wanted you to have the base in Jun Fan Kung. And Jeet Kune Do was really Bruce Lee's personal system. And as I tell people before, it can be taught, but you would be losing it if you started to standardize it, because everyone is individual. Things that Bruce Lee did, and this is what people don't realize, what he did, a lot of people can't do. Like, he could really shell shock a person with his lead jab. A lot of people can't now. We could score with that. We could put the guy off balance with it. We might even hurt him, but we can't take a man out. He had tremendous power, and we don't have that, you know. He had speed that it flabbergasted me. You know, I was a conference champion in my college, and he used to catch me like I was just in slow motion. It was like a bad dream. I've never met anybody explosive as him. I've never met anybody as fast as him. And there will be people that will surpass him maybe in speed, but maybe in totality, probably not. Because he's a rare individual, and probably when God made him, he threw them all away. Intelligent. A lot of fighters not intelligent. They're just gutsy. But he was gutsy, you know. He knew the direction in which he wanted to do it purposely. He just knew the direction when he was creating this. And it was created for him. But Jun Fan Kung Fu, we have to learn how to take the system and make it for ourselves.